Welcome back to the Butt Chug Podcast, everyone. This is episode 98. God, we're almost there. It's like, I don't know if we're going uphill. It's more like we're on a plateau.
That was a smooth introduction.
A level street here, but we're pushing our way towards the big 100.
You can tell that we're getting there because your introductions are getting more and more flawless.
Yeah, we're definitely at the top of the hill because here soon it's gonna be all downhill.
These intros are gonna be shit. Sometimes I've struggled. I go, "Welcome back to the Butt Chug Podcast," and then I go, and here we are. And I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Do you practice?
I used to practice all the time. Is
it when you had like stats associated with the numbers? Like you would do, and this is episode 33.
Oh,
this
yeah,
is Larry
like
Bird.
I would look up. Yeah, I would think in my head. I'd be thinking, okay, this is episode blah blah blah, and I'd type it into Google and figure out. I can't. That's so long ago.
Yeah.
That feels like a lifetime ago that we did.
And numbers are hard to keep up with.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, who's number 98? Anybody you know? Number 98?
Oh, it was fantastic. Now I didn't.
Our body temperatures.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think about this until just now, where you guys
98
were
degrees, the boy band.
You guys were counting, right? And we're trying to figure out in Spanish. Was that 2 episodes ago?
I remember counting in Spanish.
Oh yeah,
How far did we get?
You guys.
Did we get to like cinco?
You guys didn't do because you know like 21, 22, 23.
Weren't we trying to say 20 something? We said doso cinco or something.
Yeah. So
which I don't think that's
so right. I was you were right. You're like when both of you guys were saying the same thing. Matt's going to be screaming at the thing, so I wrote down a bunch of notes and I left it on
I used to know how to count in Spanish. I'm embarrassed I don't anymore.
Yeah, so it's all 20 for 20.
20.
Yeah, 20
20.
Yeah, so then, but for 30, for 10s, it's like 30, 40, 50.
Yeah.
70, 80, 90, 100.
Yeah, I needed Spanish more.
But Mexican beer is
Illinois than Ohio. I'll say that. I haven't even heard Spanish since moving to Ohio.
Really?
I mean, there's so many, Spanish speakers in Illinois. Spaniards, yeah.
So like
Mexican,
have you ever had
South American
Tres Hermanos?
Tres Hermanos, like the restaurant?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't remember.
You can order in Spanish there. You can.
I mean, yeah, no, you can. You can also order in English, which is probably what I do. Give me a burrito. And they're like, you got to roll the R's. And I'm like, nah, I don't roll R's. It's not what I do.
It's impossible.
I don't do it.
You can't do that?
Not interested. Oh, I can do it.
Yeah.
Not interested in it. It's not my
practicing.
thing. I feel like if you roll your R's, you're giving in. To what? I don't know. You're just giving in. You're giving up. And I don't want to give up. I want to stay strong.
Speaking of giving up, Matt.
Let's talk about beer news.
Let's give up this conversation. Makes no sense. There's hardly a Spanish speaker in Dayton, Ohio. Other than that.
Man. Don't alienate that population.
No, I'm sure there are.
We're the number one craft beer Spanish podcast in Dayton for Spanish speakers.
For Spanish speaking.
Yeah.
Did you know that? The ratings are out.
I knew that we're the number one across most demographics.
Yeah. So I will just say...
Do they listen in Spanish?
Yeah, for all the Spanish speakers, we translate it afterwards.
After this, we do it all in Spanish again.
So for
it's weird
the
that I
Spanish
always leave and
listeners,
they're always like, all right,
yeah,
go.
no, two-thirds of the BCP support you.
2/3. I support you as well. I wasn't saying I don't support Spanish speakers.
No, so
I just don't roll my eyes.
When we dub your voice out,
yeah,
we use a Jean-Claude Van Damme impersonator.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. But he's French.
Yeah, so it sounds really funny.
Oh, okay, good. It's good.
You turn into the comedy of the podcast.
Oh, I turn into the comedy of the podcast.
Your Q rating or K rating,
my Nielsen rating,
is very high with our Spanish listening friends.
Mm-hmm. They love you.
Because of that French translated into English back into Spanish.
Very good.
But when they meet him in real person, they're so disappointed.
Muy bien.
Muy bien, yes.
Muy bien. Gracias, guys.
Yeah, it's your Q rating is very close to CN.
Wow.
To CN?
That's big.
100.
Ooh.
That's big.
That's a big number.
100 is a big number.
100.
That's the highest Q rating.
Relevant, too. It's irrelevant.
100 is irrelevant.
That's your likability rating. Why they call it your Q rating?
Is it out of 100?
It is out of 100.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's not
but
like
it's not out of like a billion.
No.
Because then I'd really...
That's only Kelvin.
Ah.
temperature of things.
Yeah.
Good old Kelvin.
But
Kelvin
or Scoville. You're closer to a Trinidad pepper than a jalapeno pepper in the Scoville rating.
Oh, that's fantastic.
There you go.
Thanks.
Very spicy. Muy caliente.
Ooh. Ay, ay, ay.
Speaking of peppers.
Yeah.
This is the best transition ever. Did you hear the new fad that's not that old of a fad that's coming back this summer?
Peppers in beer.
Close. It is a vegetable in a beer, though.
Cucumbers.
Very close. What is it?
Pickles.
Pickles.
Ah, yes.
So,
spicy pickles.
So pickles in beer is making a resurgence. My father-in-law, Chuggalo Todd, sent me this story, and he goes, this is something you need to do on the podcast.
Ouch, Todd?
Yeah, Ouch Out Todd. He sent this to me 2 days before my siesta the last couple of weeks. Semanas.
2 days before your afternoon nap?
Yes.
You only take
break.
one, huh?
My break. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
this is an afternoon nap too, right?
So
dual meaning.
People in the Midwest, because that's where it originated, started putting pickles in beer right around 2017. But they stopped doing it. But now, because more people are buying cheaper beer to like liven things up and to make things crafty, if you will, they're dropping full pickles into their beer. So it's becoming more of a thing. So
like an accoutrement, like
an accoutrement, like you know how people back in the day would put salt in their beer.
Salt in their beer, or people put cherries in their whiskey or whatever, or anything like that. Plop a pickle in your beer.
So my question to you guys: pro pickle, because we've had pickled beer, but this is just putting like a dill.
Just taking a pickle.
I don't think sweet pickles or anything would work. I think it's a dill spear.
Dill.
And throwing it in.
Yes.
And they sure showed pictures like PBR.
Yes. I'm pro pickle all the way.
100%.
I'm pro pickle as well.
Yeah, good.
Because I'm involved Bloody Marys, and then if you do a shot of whiskey in Wisconsin, most places will ask you if you want a pickleback, and most people take a pickleback, which is just a shot of whiskey or a shot of pickle juice to follow your shot of whiskey.
Oh, very good. I know in martinis and stuff they put olives, and I've always watched people eat. Yeah, I agree. But they eat them, and I'm like, wow, a little snack after you drink that cocktail.
Right. Pickle.
It'd be so nice. A pickle and a beer, it's perfect.
We should put pickles in martinis. Just
We should. Or just don't drink vodka, because vodka sucks.
Well, bridge too far.
Nope.
I like where this is going,
Drink
though,
whiskey.
because I feel like pickles are just the beginning.
Yeah.
Slap a hot dog
Let's
in that
start
joker.
working on beer accessories.
Yeah.
Food accessories.
Like Bloody Marys in Wisconsin are basically trees. They're just vehicles for other food
to
go into your mouth.
Yeah.
What? Okay, good question. What should go in beer? What could go in beer?
What could go in beer?
But actually in the beer, not suspended by
in the beer.
In the beer.
I mean, it does sound
what would you put?
Stupid, but you could technically put like a hot dog in there.
I think that
Finger
does sound,
meat.
Yeah. I would
work.
I think beef jerky would stand up better.
Ooh,
I would
beef
put
jerky
beef
could
jerky
work
in
too.
there.
Which is in a Bloody Mary.
I think
so
beef jerky would. Well, pickles would do this too, but I think it's different because it's a vegetable. But beef jerky would leak its flavor into the beer. Do you think that would be good?
I think it's fine.
I think pickles leaking into the beer is good. Hot dogs probably wouldn't leave much aftertaste, but beef jerky is so flavorful.
So I'm going to go with meat. I'm going to reverse it. You cook brats in beer. Just put a cooked brat back into your beer.
I like that.
Just send it back home.
Yeah.
And then you don't look underpowered when you're having your beer snack. A little hot dog or something, Nathan's or whatever. You got a brat.
Yeah.
And you're just eating it.
Or you could get those
eating
little
the brat.
mini...
Just like eating it.
And then the pickle.
Yeah, just eating it just like that.
Just like that.
Hey,
just taking the brat.
That's how you eat your brats, man. That's you.
That's how I eat them.
That's fine.
Because I don't have buns. So
right,
I use
you just
both
eat them
hands.
raw. Yeah.
Yeah, and
they're
huge.
Yeah, they go around. It's a big brat.
Pepperoni.
And they go around.
Very engorged.
You can't just do it like that. You got to go around.
You got to go around.
Yeah.
2 hands.
Monsters.
Yep, 2 hands.
Yeah.
And you don't put it back down.
Fair enough. You wouldn't put it down.
No.
Because by that time, then you have
like a shake
brat
weight.
Grease on your hands and stuff, and you don't want
Shake weight.
Like shake weight.
I like it.
Hey, if that's how you eat your brats, more power to you, man.
Well,
I'm not here to judge.
I'm just saying out of a beer.
I know
Normally
people
I
in
eat them on a
Wisconsin are
plate.
serious about their brats, and if you guys want to suck them down like that,
It's a serious thing. No, there's no suck. Who said anything about
That's
sucking?
that's colloquial. It's a colloquial phrase for eating.
I want to jump in here.
Jump in.
I've got a great segue because I love where the brats and the pickle going into the beer is.
Yeah.
You know what beer it would perfectly go into? Oscar Blues mustard beer.
Oh, yes.
Has anyone heard of that?
No. I'm in.
Yeah,
August 1st was National Mustard Day.
I'm going to write this down. Mustard beer.
Oscar Blues partnered with French's Mustard.
We've done them on the podcast.
They partnered with French's Mustard and they made it's called mustard beer.
Did they specify what type of mustard you should be tasting?
It's French's yellow
mustard.
French's
yellow mustard? That's the best one.
In a
From
beer.
French's, it's the best.
You're insane.
I like some of those horseradish mustards, but that one on a hot dog, man, can't be beat.
I like those too, but the can, I saw a picture of the can. The can's, just the straight up French's yellow. It just says Oscar Blues mustard beer on it.
If you say French's yellow, everyone gets that picture. No one doesn't know what French's yellow is.
Yeah.
So it is available nationwide right now. I don't know if you have to order it or if it's actually distributed to stores. So all the Chuggalos out there, keep your eyes open for mustard beer. If you see it, snap a pic or buy it and put a hot dog in it and let us know.
Yeah.
I know this may be... I think I've got you pinned, and you and I might be the same page. Mustard is the far superior condiment to ketchup. 100%. It's not close.
We know your stance on
It's not
ketchup.
close.
Yeah, you hate ketchup. I think that there are cases to be made on different foods for different condiments.
Yeah. Like, you would argue steak and ketchup.
Like, I wouldn't use ketchup or mustard on chicken, but barbecue sauce is great on chicken.
Yeah, if you put ketchup or mustard on chicken and you call yourself an adult, email me.
Barbecue sauce on chicken?
No, I'm saying ketchup or mustard on chicken.
Yeah. No.
If you're limited and you're eating like those bone dry chicken breasts over in a deployed location, you've got to put something on it.
Yeah, that's a fair.
Well, if you're in a deployed location, you're going to have one of 47 different kinds of Tabasco or hot sauce.
Potentially.
Or Heinz 57.
Yeah.
That's where I'm
just saying.
Heinz 57 over
There
A1.
are cases where it's acceptable to use ketchup or mustard on chicken breasts.
Yeah.
Just because you've got to get it down your throat. You've got to get it down your throat.
I'm probably just going to choke that chicken down.
Sometimes you have to choke.
Sometimes you have to. But like a hot dog, I prefer only mustard. On a hamburger, I like to have ketchup on it.
Gross. Mustard.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not your way or nothing. It's a good conversation because there are different opinions.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah,
that's what America's all about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're not the nation of ketchup.
But after that, did you hear? We'll bring it back local for a second. Did you hear about the big Ohio news as far as beer and liquor?
Maybe.
This is huge. 4 days ago, Governor DeWine.
10 p.m.
10 p.m.
Oh, I did hear the 10 p.m. thing.
So when I first read this, because I wasn't in the state when this decision was levied, otherwise I would have
been consulted.
Hopefully.
Because normally Matt stays out past 10 p.m. drinking and
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I also brought this up.
Hits Matt.
This also doesn't really affect me. I can't remember the last time I was out.
They actually called this the Matt rule.
It's probably a bowling alley night.
Probably
so. Yeah.
Yeah, and nothing good happens after 10 o'clock when you're out. When you're in a house, it's better. All right.
True.
So I thought originally that liquor and beer sales stop at whatever time anyways. Yeah. And they're like, no, at bars. They're stopping it. And then you have till 11 o'clock.
Got to finish it. Yeah,
to finish it.
Otherwise, it's confiscated.
This is
and poured out.
That's when you're like, pouring it into your purse or whatever satchel, and just drink it later. Right. So I thought.
So what's the idea behind this rule?
To limit the spread, because
it's just COVID. It's just COVID related.
It's COVID related.
They want to shut the bars down, but they can't shut the bars down.
No, I mean,
those are prime earning hours.
What is the? I just don't. I don't see how the limitations are different at 10 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Because it. Are getting more sloppy drunk and aren't wearing their masks.
From 10 p.m. on, the rules are no longer really being followed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Because the safety part of me is like, hey,
until I can find a reason why I hate it.
The positive, if we're doing a pro-con thing, the positive is then you have less drunk drive, out there.
Yeah.
Because their liquid libation time is being limited.
Yeah.
So,
hopefully.
Well, yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully they're not going out.
I hope it doesn't negatively affect the businesses, though, because that's when people are like, you know what, you need a round, and just helicoptering.
Yeah. I mean, it negatively affects businesses. No
doubt.
Everybody's
losing their time.
You're losing 4 hours of sales time.
So
everything is a struggle right now.
Yeah.
But I thought that was incredible. But I mean, we have to do what we can, and everyone gives a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
So here's another one. Guess who is getting into the seltzer game?
Boy, oh boy.
Well, Bud Light's in it.
Count them all. Let's count them all up.
I really hope it's Busch Light.
Is
Busch Light in it?
This is Budweiser. Yeah, that's an Anheuser. This is a non-alcoholic company.
Oh, I've heard this.
Biggest drink in the world.
Oh yeah, Monster.
No.
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola in 2021.
Oh yeah, they own Monster. That's what I was reading.
It's debuting, but it's going to be under the Coke, not
the Monster. Yeah.
So it's going to be under a Coca-Cola. It's going to be called. I didn't write it down. It's like Chapo Tapo.
Really?
You can't make it up. I wish I would have wrote it down.
And Coke just released. I was looking at just business news, and Coke said they're canceling all of their non-Coca-Cola products. So anything that's not Coke or Diet Coke or some offshoot, except for Coke Zero regular, they're canceling all those. So like Coke Zero Orange Vanilla, whatever.
Oh.
They're canceling. They call them zombie brands. They're canceling all of them or getting rid of them. And they're only doing Coke, Diet Coke, and Coke Zero. And then all those Diet Coke, like caffeine-free.
That was primarily due to the aluminum shortage.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that was from that.
So this will make life easier for people in the South. Like, what kind of Coke do you want? Then they're like, they don't have to rattle off the 47 different.
100 million Cokes.
Yeah, Mountain Dew.
Now, the 1,300 Coke machines, are they just going to let those spend out? Because that's the only reason I know that most of those...
Select your Cokes are just Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, but then they have like all those like flavors you put in them. I mean they're still gonna make like Seagrams and whatever their Mountain Dew equivalent is and stuff. I'm just saying like the brown Coke products. You know what I'm talking about?
Brown Coke. Like they call that in Africa. Orange, they call that. I don't know. They call that Bang Bang, where they mix cocaine with gunpowder.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You told me about that time when you were in Africa.
Yeah, I was in Africa. And we had Coca-Cola, but not Bang Bang.
Not Bang Bang?
No.
I thought Bang Bang was an energy drink.
Bang
That's just Bang.
Drink. Just bang. One Bang.
And they're getting sued.
They're getting sued?
Because they advertise super creatine in the drink, and they just stuck super in front of it, and people are like, what's super? And they're like, it's really good.
It's just great.
Yeah.
Well,
and people are...
Prove them wrong.
It's not so I don't
call
know.
It proprietary.
Yeah.
It's super.
I like Bang.
I've never had one.
They're very delicious.
300 milligrams of caffeine throws me off.
Of the energy drinks, they're probably the most delicious ones.
Red Bull. I'm an old
Red Bull's
fashioned.
Great.
I love it.
I know you just don't want change, but you can try new things.
I first started off with Rockstar. It's just I don't need or want.
I like Red Bull too.
I don't want or need the caffeine, and Red Bull has the least.
Oh, okay.
So,
fair enough. Good argument.
But
very sound.
That's, if anything, I'm not sound.
Okay.
The improv game is strong today, folks.
It is, yeah. I was trying to come up with something on the fly.
Yeah, you're not sound.
Happen.
All right. I don't want to counter that.
Excellent.
If that's what you think.
Excellent.
Then it's fine.
Good. I'm glad we're visual. I'm glad we're visual now because
we're all in agreement.
Did the podcast turn off? So I wanted to tell you guys about my trip because I know you guys were talking about, and I just wanted to add in and build on what you guys were talking about going out to bars.
Yeah.
So now I have been out to bars in 3 different states. So I'm doing my part on social distancing in a really terrible manner. So I would like to talk about the differences, and these were all. So I've been to 3 different bars in 3 different. So it was all July. So in Ohio, when I went to a bar, you couldn't get up from your table because office linebacker Tate was there and he would tackle you. So everything's at the bar. Don't approach the bar. Nothing. You wear your mask to the table and then you're done. So I went to a couple bars in Minnesota when I was up in Minnesota. They take down everyone's phone number for point tracing and name, phone number, or whatever, just in case somebody. So then they can call you and let you know. Okay. Minnesota, when I was there, had just gone to mandatory 100% masks.
Okay.
So as long as you're out in public, you're wearing a mask. So that was different. Then I went to Wisconsin to hang out with my parents. I wore my mask into the bar, and it was like the music, like,
they were like, who's this guy?
Yeah, New York City. Yeah, and that's what it was. And so I was just sitting there, and I wore my mask till I was served. You can walk around freely. It's like there's nothing going on. I never saw. That was early on in my trip, so like the 23rd of July. I didn't see a mask that trip. So when I went back to Wisconsin, we ended up going to the cabin. So if you check out BCP Shorts, episode 30, we were at a cabin. So we were socially distanced by hundreds of miles. But I know it did upend trips that we had planned. We were going to go to breweries, but we decided to play it safe and just go to a cabin out in the middle of nowhere. And there was just 3 of us.
Yeah.
So it was interesting looking at, Ohio, you get tackled. Minnesota's 100% masks. And Wisconsin, the joke has been made that they're in denial that the coronavirus even exists. But bars are hardly affected in Wisconsin, and I attribute this to more of the culture, where historically Wisconsin was the last state to give up 0.1 by 4.5 years. And the only reason they gave up 0.1 is because President Clinton at the time said, we're going to withhold federal interstate funding if you don't give up 0.1 because of just the culture. So every other state in the union was 0.08. Wisconsin was 0.1, almost up until the time I felt like I was 21. I know it was a little bit below that. But so it's just interesting. And I went back a couple of times and just how limited mask use was in Wisconsin. But even just like going to public places, I stopped and got gas. So I stopped at Quick Trip, which is a big Wisconsin chain of, and everyone was wearing it in there, but not in bars that I saw. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I pretty much wear it everywhere. That's it.
24/7.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now.
You can't see it.
The crazy one.
Video mask.
I don't know if you've seen it here.
We've edited it out.
Yeah,
so
I
you
did.
can't see the mask, but it's on.
Green.
I sleep in it.
Yeah.
In the
Take
service
showers with it.
In the service industry in Minnesota, they have the clear ones that come like this, and they're suspended off your face, so they're not resting on your face, but they're clear, so you can see the lips move and everything like that. I thought those were really cool. So they don't defeat the purpose. They catch the expectorant or whatever it would be, but they're very limited, and they've got risers, I guess you would say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, something that sits on their chin or something.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Good.
So that was neat to see. So the technology in them is, going very fast.
Mass tech.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today, yeah.
Yeah.
How do we adapt? Are there cool ones? Because my glasses get fogged up.
There are cool ones, yeah. I just saw an article today about how a tech startup is making a mask that can translate to 8 different languages, I think.
Hopefully Spanish for you.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I took
so much of our budget goes to the Jean-Claude Van Damme translator.
That's right.
There's no money left over.
They're going to make a mask that translate. I mean, that seems like overkill. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I mean, if you want, phones can translate like 140 languages. You just put your headphones in and you're good.
Yeah.
Like if you really want it to be that close to your ears. I don't know. That just seems like okay.
Where else would you?
I'm just saying it's an example of mask technology,
mask innovation.
Yep.
There was a mask. I was reading. There was a mask company that was on Shark Tank in 2009, and they all laughed at him, laughed at her. I mean, 2009 is a long time ago. So
Man, just think the old people.
They weren't wrong. For 11 years, but now all of a sudden that company, they're doing well. From what I hear.
Good. That's good. Yeah.
Glad they're doing well. Probably took a while.
Make Mark Cuban eat his words.
Make Mark Cuban eat his words.
Dipshit.
JT, I'm thirsty.
Let's do it.
I'm super thirsty. I'm so thirsty. I was hoping someone would say that soon.
Oh, I got this.
Oh yeah, that's all my fault.
All right.
I felt like I was like JT giving a beer review there.
Very mad.
You're gonna have to grab Richard.
Yeah, I will.
This is the first bottle in a while.
Yeah,
I was thinking about this.
Jeez, oh Pete, yeah.
Jeez, oh Pete's.
I don't want to steal this, but this is from who I think it's from, right?
Yeah.
Finally, we're finally getting to your beers.
Two listener submissions.
One listener, 2 submissions, right?
Do you have multiple bottle openers, or should we just do one at a time?
We'll just use Richard. Right. I mean, I've got multiple. They're right there.
Richard,
I'm just saying for like a crack. We can just.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, there's Thor.
Yeah, we'll just do one.
You guys have a Thor opener?
Do we want to do it all at once?
No, that's fine.
No, I want to share Richard.
Yeah.
Richard, I'm going to go first. Okay, 3, 2, 1. All right, now you guys go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, now seeing Richard, I know why you guys were laughing at me with my broad eating style. I know why now. I didn't know what was going on.
So this is Two Brothers Domaine DuPage, and this is Two Brothers Maine beer.
Put Richard up.
Who submitted this?
My mother.
Ah.
Yeah, I was getting to that. Chuggalo, my mom. No.
Chuggalo, my mom.
That wasn't supposed to be an aggressive.
I jumped the.
That almost sounds like an adjective. Chuggalo, my mom.
Chuggalo.
Yeah. Probably don't say that.
Yeah.
Put a qualifier in there.
All right. Domaine DuPage is a French country ale, and it is their main beer, and it comes from Chicago. Actually, more specifically, it comes from Warrenville.
Warrenville.
We've talked about this. We had a
lot of Warrens.
We had We had Two Brothers. I'm trying to think of what it was called. It was called.
Have you ever had Two Brothers?
Two Brothers beer. Two Brothers brewery beer. Yeah, I've had Two Brothers brewery beer, but not Two Brothers. Nope, I don't have $1 million. Two at the same time, man.
Yeah. Nice. Thanks for bridging that. It's like,
yeah.
That was a good one.
This beer is actually, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are, but I'm going to read these so that you can, I don't know if this will influence you.
That's why we have the podcast. You'll get to know what my thoughts are. It's a treat.
They have won 6 awards.
6?
And this beer, this specific beer, not the brewery as a whole. The brewery as a whole actually had like 20 awards. And they were called a Chicago Classic by the Chicago Tribune. So I also don't know, because we had that Kinslager, and that's apparently a Chicago Classic. So I'm not sure how good the Chicago Tribune is at rating beers.
I'm going to give you this is the best French country ale I've ever had.
Oh, that's good to know.
So it's got an award from me already. So 7 awards.
This is actually, my mom submitted this beer. She wanted to submit a beer, and she gave me the option of like 3 or 4 beers, and I chose this one. Just because I was like, French country ale, I've never had that before. So it'd be good to have something I don't want to be too hoppy on this podcast. I know some people are getting worried about how much hops we drink.
The Chuggalos up north are pleased with the about face we've taken.
I don't remember ever having, being...
In regards to what? What do you mean?
Very densely hoppy.
I'm confused. Yeah, I thought we're split between
I thought, personally,
sours and
when
IPAs.
You got that complaint, that they were joking.
No, it was just pointed out that we could have been an IPA podcast.
I just don't agree.
Diverges.
Not to get all serious, but I just don't agree. I think we do a lot of sours.
Wait a second. I thought we've been serious the whole time.
Yeah.
You need to lighten up.
This is a very serious, pretentious
need to lighten up.
Podcast.
You've been too serious.
I've been too serious.
Yeah, you need to lighten up.
I need a brat.
Personally.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in a Chicago Tribune subscription. I'm sorry.
2-hand that shit, dude. Brat, pickle. Go back and forth, just like this.
So good.
Back and forth.
Multiple brats at the same time.
I have to have 2 brats at the
same time.
2 brats.
Oh yeah, I never
only has
one.
Just
One,
unsatisfied.
yeah. But they.
Do you eat them with a bun or without?
No bun.
No,
God,
because you're.
I'm not Joey. I'm not Joey Chestnut.
You're like
dunk it in water and then just slam it down.
No,
I would be interested in doing a hot dog eating contest sometime.
I bet you would. Yeah,
I would. I would hate the buns.
Oh man, that'd be. I don't know how many hot dogs I could probably eat.
Do the whole same thing that they do.
I could try. I don't want to dip them in.
I think it would be so much fun to enter one of those and then sit there and just casually eat one hot dog.
Just really enjoy it.
Like a spectator. And just look at them, look down the aisle, look at them, watch them choking on it, and just casually eat it.
Yeah.
Because if we're competing against each other, I'm going to get tunnel vision, and I'm not going to be upset until 15 minutes after when I look over and his pyramid of hot dogs is just missing one. I don't know what's on there. I'm puking in the bucket.
I don't believe I've ever been in an eating contest, but I've always thought I could probably throw down, but I don't. Maybe I can't.
I know that I cannot. I cannot do it. Yeah.
At my high school,
I've done a few eating contests.
Oh, how'd you do?
Both spicy and quantity.
Not spicy. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I've done
You've done the food challenges. You've done the
food challenge. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and
those are
I could do a food challenge.
That's like a quasi competition.
Kind of. Yeah.
We've really diverged.
I did
like the
do a
submarine
food
house
challenge if you go to BD's Mongolian Barbecue and you get the like return to the line ticket or whatever. I had 3 bowls once of food, and they give you a T-shirt. It was great. I was like, great T-shirt that doesn't fit. So I never really did that again. But I was a teenager, and it was like I could eat anything. I was just talking to my wife about this when I was a teenager. I was like a vacuum for food.
Food
just
vacuum.
Ate constantly. Two frozen pizzas for dinner.
JT, the
food
vacuum.
Frozen
3
pizzas
bowls
are
of cereal
nothing.
for breakfast. Just ate like fucking crazy. Now I can't even eat 1 bowl of cereal. Puts me to sleep. It does. My body overloads on the sugar, and I just go to sleep.
How do you do it as a sweet tooth then?
I don't eat
because
cereal.
all you eat is sugar though.
I don't know how I do it.
So it just
take a nap.
Okay.
If I eat ice cream, I do it like late at night. I rarely eat midday ice cream.
God, when I went and saw my grandma, she had made all these sweets and everything. Like
it's true. I know my schedule.
This is becoming like the over 50 podcast quickly.
It's so true. It's so true.
At any minute, we're gonna be hit up by Centrum Silver to advertise the vitamins.
I really when you start waking up in the morning and you're like, and things are popping, you're like,
popping.
It's different. Not popping, locking, dropping. Just popping.
Just popping.
I could always tell the days.
Sometimes dropping.
The Friday mornings after bowling.
Sure.
Oh, that was the worst.
All right. So Chicago Tribune said that this beer was not just a oldie but a goodie, but an oldie but and very goodie. That's what they said. Launched in 1999, long before the current wave of Chicago brewery openings. Domaine is a bière de garde. Do you know that word?
Bière de garde. Yeah,
Bière
we've
de
had
garde?
a couple of those.
Yep.
B-I-E-R?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A French style. I also don't speak French. A French style that never became terribly mainstream in the United States, but not for any fault of its own. I won't read this whole thing because I'm sure you guys love when I read. But they really loved this beer, and they gave it a Chicago Classic rating. So tell me your thoughts, gentlemen.
I'm wondering if they are freedom fries. Would this have been a freedom country?
Oh, yeah. Are you interested on the awards that they won? I can read them.
Yeah, I already gave it an award too, so 7.
Okay.
Follow your passion and drink ours. It sounds very sexual, and we're not a very sexual podcast.
Not at all.
Nothing we do. Cobra, should I lead off?
Go ahead.
All right. So this is, as I spoiler alerted, this is the first French country ale I've had, and it probably will be my last one. Off the top rope, the best thing about this beer is it came from Chuggalo Mom. Mm-hmm. I can say it because it doesn't sound odd. You say it about your own.
Well, because you say my mom in front of it, then yeah, it does sound like, what'd you say? An adjective?
I think it sounds more like a verb,
like
honestly.
A verb, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You can chuggalo my mom.
I'm terrible.
Yeah,
that's
right.
why I am terrible at the whole.
Terrible at the hole.
At the hole.
Clearly, the way he eats those brats, I don't think there's much holes going on there.
This could be like a daily drinker. So if you wanted to step up your game from like a Miller Lite or something like that and support local Chicago, this is something you could have in your fridge and impress your friends. But there's something I realize about those Pabst and old style drinkers where they have cans for days. They don't care about impressing their friends. They're going to be the old ready standby. Mm-hmm. So off the top rope, it is absolutely the best French country ale I've had. But that doesn't say much. I've had much better Two Brothers beers. This is a 3.25. Toasty caramel sweetness. I actually kind of get that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what's French about it, though.
I have no idea.
Do you know what's French about it?
No, I don't. But I will agree with you in the fact that this is the best French country style ale that I've ever had.
I knew it.
You do get the oats and the kind of caramelly flavor. This is, to me, it's like a bridge in between the easy drinking lager whatever to an Oktoberfest. It's right there in the middle. It's like one step. Perfect for August.
So you think a seasonal beer almost?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
It does have that
I
taste.
think this is the August September beer right before Oktoberfest beers come out, and it's very heavy on the kind of caramelization and a little bit of a darker ale, right?
Yeah. And hopefully coriander, right?
And hopefully lots of coriander just floating in it. You chew it. I want to chew it. This is, for me, this gets 3.5. It is easy to drink. It's there's nothing kind of heavy about it in any department as far as flavor or, I don't know, any aspect of beer. So yeah, 3.5. It's a fine beer. Best French country style ale I've ever had. I do get a little bit of the caramel flavor to it, but it's easy to drink. It's good. Thanks, Chuggalo Mom.
Mm-hmm. All right, this is the Can Art Boner segment brought to you by my mom, who will not hold that title for very long, but she does get to hold that title, at least for now. There's really not much going on here. It's the typical swirl. The one thing that is like Three Floyds that is distinct about Two Brothers is the bottle cap. So when you have them, if you put them like on your refrigerator door, you can see all the bottle caps easily and know which ones are which. When I was finding this beer in my fridge this morning, it was so easy to identify.
I'm trying to see if I have a Three Brothers one up there.
Three Floyds. Did I say Three
No,
Floyds?
I meant Two Brothers.
Oh, Two Brothers.
Okay.
Okay.
It's numbers.
I thought you were making fun of me.
Who cares?
No.
I'm so used to it.
Floyds and Brothers.
So this has a distinct bottle cap. Three Floyds has the pink, kind of swirly, pink and black. It's
green.
Just, when you see it
green,
in
yellow,
green,
and
when
pink.
you see it in your refrigerator, you know it's the Three Floyds beer. You know that about this because I had a pinch of Grace in there, which is the last beer we had from Two Brothers, and it had the same exact bottle cap. So that's the Can Art Boner segment brought to you by my mom. And I'm not going to read all of the stuff on here. I think we covered it pretty well. French Country Ale. Yes, it does have a caramely flavor to it. I think when I drink a beer that has that caramely, and I think I refer to it on the podcast a lot of times as a darkness, even when it's not a stout. Obviously, a stout has that darkness, but when it's not a stout, I refer to it as a darkness. I think fall too. I think the colors of caramel matches the colors of dead leaves or dying leaves, and it just reminds you of fall, and or an amber beer even, kind of fall-y.
Yeah. I could buy that.
This has a caramely flavor. It kind of has like a rich, maybe sweet even, dark flavor to it.
Yep.
I don't hate it. It's not but it can be an everyday drink. I can see how this could be like their beer, their number one beer. This is like, they're like, we're putting this out. This is our mainstay.
I mean, it's certainly not a bad beer to
It's
like
not a
come
bad
home
beer.
from work.
And I bet it's good on tap.
And crack a cold
They're
one.
Trotwood.
Yeah, they're Trotwood.
Like last week, you guys did get to Ermel's.
Mm-hmm. The Ermel's Creamsicle, fantastic.
Big Erm.
Almost found it, but I didn't.
No, I'm saying like Warp Wings Ermel's. You
Yeah.
got to the cream ale a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but they now have a creamier Ermel's. It's Creamsicle.
Even
it's
creamier.
Delicious. It's awesome. But it is sweet. I do feel like there's probably a lot of sugar in this beer.
It is 6.2, by the way.
Yeah, 6.2. Forgot to mention that. 20-something IBUs. 24 IBUs. Warrenville, Illinois. And they do sell 12 packs of bottles. You see that very often? I mean, Miller Lite, yeah. But.
Not anymore, but the nice thing, I wonder if they still taper it up.
Oh, I wonder.
For less carbon. You know what I'm saying? You can always tell a bottle 12-pack just from that taper.
Yeah.
Wider and stuff, too.
Mm-hmm.
But
So, I don't hate this beer. I give it a 3.75 butt cheeks.
3.25, 3.5, 3.75.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in the ladder.
Yep.
What, Cobra, what does this look like as our... I don't want to tip it off. Just don't look at the letters. What does it look like?
What do you mean?
The art.
It looks like a hurricane symbol or something like that?
I was hoping you would say
what?
Lifesavers Creamsicle.
Oh.
Maybe.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. The swirl?
Yep.
Sorry,
Yep.
I wrote a note.
A little while ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, the Starbucks made a orange Frappuccino thing. Like a hot one, whatever the hot. I don't go to Starbucks. Whatever the hot coffees are that have foam on the top, they made an orange and white swirl thing on the top.
I know what you're talking about.
I remember seeing it.
Lifesavers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about too, Lifesavers.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't talk about
All right,
artwork.
next beer.
Yeah. I don't talk about artwork, so I wanted to keep it.
All right.
Is this from...
This next beer is a submission from Chuggalo Scott D.
Big Scott D.
Big Scott D went to North Carolina.
Ooh.
Just like our boy with the song. Remember, twist your shirt around your head.
Are you a fan of Big D?
Big D?
Scott D?
Yeah, I think we're friends.
Big D, right?
Is his name Big D?
Yeah, that's his nickname.
I call him Scott.
Ouchtown.
So you're a big fan of Big D.
I like Scott. He's a good guy. I'm not gonna fall into your trap.
He's not gonna say it. He's not gonna say it.
All right.
He refuses.
This is Kettle Beer Works Krabby Louie. So he went to.
I'm excited.
I forgot to pull the website up.
I'm salivating.
Wait
a second. You didn't do the research?
No, I did. I've emailed it to myself. I can't memorize all this stuff. All right. Let's see. KettleBeerWorks.com is the website.
Kettle, 2 T's, 2 L's.
2 T's, 2 L's. Yep.
Are you familiar?
They are
Carolina
out of,
boy?
I'm not.
They are out of
I'm not.
Banner Elk.
There's so many breweries in the Carolinas. It's unbelievable.
Like 6 of them.
So they're out of Banner Elk, North Carolina, and apparently this town does not allow franchisees in the entire town. So you have to be an independently owned business.
Awesome. Good for you, Banner Elk.
So this brewery, clearly with the name we've never heard, Kettle Beer Works, would be an independently owned brewery.
I have high hopes.
Maybe it's
They are family friendly. So
That's
there's
nice.
a lot of discussion about that on Facebook, the beer groups on Facebook, whether you should bring kids. But they encourage it. They have shuffleboard. They have arcade and pinball, a magic pinball machine.
Here's a hot take. If you're bringing your kid to a brewery, I think we should be able to put a Velcro suit on it and use it like midget toss. But just with
so you're on the anti side.
More times than not.
I think before 9 o'clock, regular times, in non-COVID times, I think it's fair game to bring your kids, especially if you serve food.
If your kids are well behaved,
you
guys have well behaved kids. My youngest is an absolute tornado, and I won't take her anywhere.
You should have well behaved kids.
I love her, but she's 1.5.
If I'm on vacation, like we went to Gatlinburg, why should we not be allowed in the brewery? Because
I drink in front of your kids. I think it's a case by case basis.
Yeah.
If there's enough people that vote and like press a red button, your kid gets to be catapulted.
It's less of a fine to have a child get caught driving than you getting a DUI. So I just let the kids drive me home.
That's even smarter.
Oh, that's a really smart approach to that. Is determining what the fine.
It's a lower fine, and it's technically they're the ones getting in trouble, not me. So.
Yeah, right.
It's just their future.
They're in trouble.
I mean, I'll pay.
It's
their
like
fines.
when you use your
I'll
kids,
pay their fines.
Like
I'm
when
not
you
gonna
use your kids' names and Social Security cards to get credit cards.
Yeah, I'll pay their fines.
That's their fault.
That
not yours.
pisses me off.
Oh no, yeah, no doubt about it. Don't fucking do that. Don't be a scumbag. So I'm gonna read more about this brewery, but I want these guys to get a good taste.
Thanks.
So you guys want to jump in?
Let's very go. Magnanimous.
3, 2, 1. Magnanimous.
Ooh, got a shooter.
Yeah.
What?
JT was a shooter.
What am I opening here, JT? What kind of beer is it?
Yeah, so this is a Imperial India Pale Ale, 9.5% alcohol by volume, 1 pint.
You guys can hang out for a while.
Yeah, I got all day. Okay. So they do. Well, I'll do the can art in a little bit.
Yeah, you will.
You guys get your taste. I'll talk about this. So this place, the actual brewery facility as a brewery has been around since 2013, but the current owners took over in 2017.
Oh, so ownership already changed.
So ownership had changed 3 years ago. They rebranded as Kettle Brew Works. I'm not sure what they were before.
Maybe just Kettle with one L.
Well,
yeah,
Kettle,
because they had to fly the second L when they changed ownership.
Yeah, because L's for love.
Yeah,
L's for love.
Yeah, it's like when the Cubs lose, they have to fly the L.
Kettle, spelled Kettell, is a family name which goes back for many generations. Originally meaning, guess what it means?
Prison.
Kettle.
Oh.
Why would they even put that on the
Usually, when you change your name like that, it's to skip into the bread lines, or when you were coming into, it was Ellis Island Eyes. These people, they just threw an extra L.
Mm-hmm.
Kettle, or
they're going
Ellis Island Eyes. Can you give me an example?
Yeah. So when people came from like Italy or Germany, it was mostly Western Europe. If you had a difficult pronouncing last name, they would just Smith you.
They'd Smith you. I thought they would cut off about half of your name.
They would do that.
So
they would do whatever.
Anything.
There's so many like immigration agents.
Oh, okay, just random things.
INS at the time.
I thought you were saying. I thought what you meant was like Ellis Island Eyes was like they were adding eyes to people's names to make them like vowels and stuff.
IZE.
You know, like some of those like Czechoslovakian names are like all consonants and they're hard to pronounce.
Yeah, like taxi cab drivers, 15 consonants, one vowel. Like,
let's throw eyes in between every letter here, and we'll just make this guy's name something I can't even.
Pilsner Urquell. We're a big fan of it because you said Czechoslovakia. I'm trying to think of the biggest Czech beer that I know.
I don't know.
I think Pilsner Urquell is Czech.
Pilsner.
Yeah, Pilsner period, but Pilsner Urquell. Now, is that Czech or Slovakia?
What?
Pilsner Urquell.
Look it up.
Because there's a split. I don't have my device is recording us.
Oh, true. All right. So in Banner Elk, North Carolina, every year for Thanksgiving, we would find a cabin in North Carolina for our extended families to meet and spend the holiday. We fell in love with Banner Elk after testing an excellent mountain water quality. Knew we would make superior beer here. Okay, so I probably read that wrong, but it doesn't matter. They liked the water quality there, and they made beer.
It's good water.
So Scott had told me a few things about Banner Elk, and he told me basically it's Breckenridge for North Carolina. It's very secluded, but also it's got a thriving Main Street, I guess you'd call it.
It sounds
like people riding around here real fixies quick. Around.
No, like a Main Street like business district. You know,
growing up in northern South Carolina, if that makes sense.
You're our southern correspondent.
The upstate
South Carolina.
So I would. My introduction to winter sports was snowboarding growing up, and that occurred up in Boone, North Carolina. So I'm sure Boone. I've heard of Banner Elk.
Okay.
But I couldn't point it on a map. But if he's saying it's similar to Breckenridge, then obviously it's in the mountains. It can't be far away from Boone. So it's got to be beautiful country.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And if they're getting the water from a spring or whatnot, then it's that water is second to none up there.
Oh wow!
As far as drinking it from the mountain, straight out of the mountain, like
I want to try that.
You could stick a leaf into the side of the mountain, and it'll begin to trickle water off of it, and you can drink it straight like that.
I will do that.
It is
Next
delicious.
time I go to Banner Elk.
So, good on you, Scott, for finding Banner Elk. So
yeah,
I didn't mean to
no,
cut
it's
you
okay.
Off.
He's very articulate about his mountain areas. He enjoys them. He seems like the kind of guy who would do the Appalachian Trail. Like he likes being outdoors. He likes wearing flannel. And killing things probably, like with knives and stuff, like to eat, not just to kill them, because he's not a murderer.
You're naming Cobra.
Right. I think that Scott and Cobra have a lot of similarities.
I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Scott's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's great dude. I worked with him. I was on the same team as him for about half a year, and then now we just chat in our chat rooms.
Interesting.
Speaking of which, I just saw Bulldog yesterday.
Oh yeah, I've seen him a couple times. Another great dude.
Looking svelte.
Yeah. He's still dressing up for work.
Yeah.
Maybe
Weird.
not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looks good. He's wearing suspenders now. Looks great in suspenders. But Scott, separate from AJ, out shout to AJ if he's still listening. Do you think he still listens?
I think he does. I hope so.
I hope so. Scott does, and he also said he's going to send this episode, no pressure, to Kettle Beer Works.
Wow, if he has a connection there.
Yeah, so he knows the girl that is the bartender or the beer server. I don't know if you can call it bartending.
Yeah.
I guess you can.
Bartendress.
She apparently used to date his brother, but now they hate each other, but she still talks to Scott.
Scott's still cool.
Scott's cool, but the brother's not
Brother's
cool.
dick.
Brother's outlawed.
According to
the
bartendress.
According to Scott, who is passing it through to me.
I'm tracking this.
So there's a lot of drama going on.
Love the drama.
Here. But I like that this story has that small town feel where like everyone knows everyone. Like he knows, he's been in Ohio for so many years. It's crazy he would know people like just working at the local brewery. But he does, and he still knows about their drama.
Those ties run deep.
Ties run deep. That's North Carolina for you. That's what is that town called again? I forgot.
Banner Elk.
Banner Elk.
Banner Elk.
I want to go to Banner Elk. I want to taste the water. I do.
You're tasting the water right now.
Yeah, I'm tasting the water
with beer.
Through a few scientific processes.
Yeah.
I want to taste it straight from the spring.
From a leaf.
Like you said, from a leaf.
That's the way my father and I would quite often gather our drinking water when we would do overnights, because we would hike the Appalachian Trail and we spent tons of time in the Smokies. So, that's amazing. We would go up with, I would have a bottle of water and he would have a bottle of water, and that would be exhausted before the end of the day.
Sure.
So then we'd just sit down on the trail for a little bit, plug a leaf in, set the bottle down, and let it fill up. And I mean, it's quite literally filtered through the mountain. So
that's amazing.
So it is really, really good water.
Sounds,
I'll just keep saying it over and over.
All right, guys.
All right.
You're up.
Wow, I don't want to ruin how much I appreciate this beer. This beer off the top rope is a 4.5. I love that it's what it is. Mm-hmm. It's not trying to be a fucking gimmick. It's not. This is awesome. The best part about this beer is it comes in a 16-ounce can. I think I would be disappointed if it was in a 12 because I want more of this beer. This beer is fantastic. It's got a little bit of a chew to it. It sits on the palate for a long time. It doesn't clear the palate. I think that's more the imperial aspect or the boozy aspect of it.
It sits well there.
It's awesome. I love this beer. 4.5. This could turn into, if you're in Banner Elk or Boone or in Eastern North Carolina, this could be your Rheingeist. This could be your Boat Show. Boat Show is a little more fruity. This could be your daily drinker, and the best part is it comes how cans used to be in this area, where a couple went from 16 to 12. This is still a pint can. This is fantastic, and the only reason I would say it couldn't be your daily drinker is if because it's a 9.5. But you know what? You're a real man or a real woman. You can handle a couple of these, after a hard day's work. So 4.5 off the top rope. I love this beer. It's fantastic. It doesn't hide the hops behind fruit or anything like that. It's awesome. 4.5. Cobra.
So harkening back to earlier conversation about the fact that we are largely labeled an IPA podcast.
Yes.
By some Chuggalos up north. This
and abroad too.
And abroad, everywhere, worldwide. So as far as IPAs go, I have been gravitating more towards the doubles and the imperials. And I feel like you said you were kind of getting worn out with the IPAs or whatever. I'm not getting worn out with the IPAs. It's just I'm continuing to explore them through DIPAs and through imperials, and even into triples and things like that. Trying to get further out there into it. And the reason I am is because the flavors are better. They're even better. Whereas initially I was hesitant to get into imperials and to doubles and triples because of the alcohol content, and because I was quite honestly intimidated by it. Just all the cards on the table, right? But the more and more I get into them, the cleaner and better the flavor is, actually, in my opinion.
You can't hide behind things.
No.
So, if I could interject for a second,
Sure.
It's like you're typing a story, or like your amazing speeches that you did as interludes.
Oh, yes.
It's like you're typing a story. You put this, so we all like the story being an IPA. You just highlight it and make it bold.
Yeah.
And this, again, I don't want to steal it, but when you were saying it and you just painted such a great picture, it's just bold.
It is bold, but it's very clean, and it, like you said, it sits on the palate, but it doesn't sit on the palate like a bad aftertaste sits.
Yeah.
It sits on there, and you're actually quite pleased with the fact that you get to savor the flavor, the old flavor saver, for a long time, right? It just sits there, and you're like, man, this is really enjoyable. It's very, very, this is all good. What's occurring, the flavor in my mouth, long after I've had a sip, on the breath, the exhale, all of it is very good. So I also came in at a 4.5. The only way that it could probably get to a 5
it's tough.
It is tough. I think it would just have to be just a slight bit crisper and just a little bit cleaner of a finish, I guess. I mean, I'm really kind of.
We're splitting hairs.
I'm grasping at straws.
I'll help with that.
Yeah, good.
Hopefully.
So it gets 4.5 for me as well. It is awesome.
Thank you, Scott D. Wow.
Yeah. It's a great beer. Now this is absolutely on the radar. absolutely on the radar, especially when I get back down to North Carolina. I've got plans to get back down to Asheville and visit, and if I have to stop through Banner Elk, then that's going to be an absolute treat to do so. So, looking forward to it.
Sounds like a place that I also want to visit. All right, so this is the Can Art Boner segment brought to you by Scott. So now Scott has overtaken, and this is just by coincidence, Mom. I'm sorry. I wanted to do your beer first because this is the staple of this brewery, whereas this one is probably just who knows if it's a staple or not.
I would hope that this is a staple.
But I wanted to make sure that we weren't giving Two Brothers a bad shake, seeing as this is 9.5. We might, how we talk about...
Have you ever shaken Two Brothers?
You know how we talk about, like how a beer will, what do they call it? Wreck your palate. I didn't want the Two Brothers to get an unfair shake, like you said.
Gotta give them a shake.
Gotta shake them up.
Ski pulling.
Yeah. So...
Rowing a boat.
We've been doing, not only have we been doing this podcast for almost 100 episodes, but we're also almost at our 2-year anniversary. Mm-hmm. We've done this for a while. We've seen a shitload of cans. So many cans.
So many cans.
So many bottles and cans.
Bottles and cans.
And I want to say that Kettle Beer Works, for how small of a brewery...
I fucking love a good set of cans.
Yeah, same here.
Because that's why we do
I'm
2 beers.
I'm a cans guy.
Yeah. I'm a cans guy.
Seeing as... I'm
a bottles and cans
just
guy.
Judging by how...
I don't discriminate.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't either. Judging...
I will. Just cans, please.
Just based off of your kind of like the feel of your website and the can itself, you're probably a smaller brewery. But what you've done on your can art, it excels in a way that a lot of major brewers don't excel. You have what you should serve it in. You have... what type of food you should eat with it. You have a little story about it. You put everything about the beer on the can, and then you even add a little bit of flavor, which I've never actually thought about this, but on the top of the can it says, cans are, ellipses, ...
I'm glad you highlighted
this. This is great, and I actually really like this feature.
My favorite
Cans
feature.
are better for your beer, better for your rivers, better for your parks, better for your trails, better for all your activities, better for you. And yeah, it seemed like I was just reading, but it's worth reading all of those comments because it's great.
Right now, hot take. You're going to add one thing to that. You would say better for your cans. Cans are better for your...
Better for your cans.
Sex life.
Better for your bed is what I...
Better for your bed?
Better for your bed.
So yeah, there's a can shortage. We've talked about this probably 3 weeks in a row now. But I've wondered, okay, other than the, what skunks a beer light? So cans are better for keeping a beer fresh. Mm-hmm. But what else? Why did we transition to cans? Is it just the cost or what? Because I don't think glass costs that much, right? It's not much more expensive.
Well, you have to blow a lot for glass.
Yeah, you do.
No, just in general.
If you want to make glass, you got to blow a lot.
Yeah. That's why a lot of states have for
I didn't
bottles,
know that
$5
cans were this. I knew you could recycle them, but you can recycle glass. Like what? There's a lot of the things you can say about aluminum. You can say about glass, but now it's better for your rivers. It's better for your parks. It's better for your trails.
Is it better for your streams?
Is it maybe? Does it?
How about your creeks?
Lakes?
What do they call it?
Lakes, mountains.
What do they call it when it becomes earth?
Decompose.
Does it decompose better than glass? Is that one of the reasons why it's better for your parks, better for your rivers?
I do compost.
Like
I don't compost aluminum cans or bottles.
Yeah.
I don't have the time span for that.
But why is it better for your rivers and parks? So they don't offer you a reasoning, but they do at least give you the idea that they are better.
I would assume that strictly an assumption is the fact that if you choose to litter, which is not cool.
One versus the other.
Which is not
you choose
cool.
to litter, by the way.
Yeah.
Don't litter.
This is for our video listeners.
Matt's coming after you.
It's a one piece. You pick it back up if someone chooses to pick it back up. Whereas a glass bottle can shatter.
Oh, it can shatter.
And then it turns
That's
into
true.
hundreds or thousands of shards of glass, which then becomes over long periods of time. It becomes sea glass.
Sea glass.
Rounded and smooth.
Particulates for your birds.
Yes. So that's my assumption.
The only time that broken glass is acceptable, and this is full circle, you guys are going to love this, is at the Kumite for when
Jean-Claude
Van Damme is going to the final with Chong Li.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, this is a fucking circle right here. Broken glass.
Full fucking circle.
Yep.
Kumite. You know what I'm talking. Everyone knows.
You bash them.
Yeah.
And then boom.
Oh yeah.
Stab.
And you got your tape. And then you get into a fight.
That's it.
I love
Kumite
motions.
That's what happens.
That's Chong Li. Shit, dude.
Chong Li.
We don't have like a good action hero right now. Like these days.
The Rock?
Come on, dude. He's jumping out of high rises.
Oh my God. The Rock
he's
just
not Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. We should talk about that in segment 3.
Yeah.
We don't have a good action hero. Let's do that for segment 3. All right. So getting back to the point here, you've done a lot of what we have seen over the 2 years we've done this as being appreciated features of a can. Best served in a tulip or bell-shaped glass to trap the aromatics. Not only do you tell us what to pour it in, but you tell us why.
I disagree with it being in a tulip. This is a
So they're just
glass.
arguing trapping
it's a pint glass.
Yeah, I agree. I just say drinking out of the can. It's a canned drink beer.
Well, that's pretty much our pod. Very rarely do we pour.
Yeah, we do very rarely. Sometimes we want to see the color. In this case, not necessary. But it says you would eat a wide range of grilled meats, barbecue, or pizza, spicy foods. We pretty much just list all the foods that exist in the world.
Nachos.
Nachos, tacos.
It was all my favorite groups.
Yeah, here's all the food groups. Barbecue, pizza, spicy foods, tacos, nachos. That's it. They all pair nicely with this beer because this beer pretty much would go with anything. If you find a good IPA, it's gonna go well with whatever you.
I can hold like a barbecue cereal. Western burger, with bacon,
the onion rings, and like fried cheese piece on it.
Yeah, like jalapenos on it, like something spicy and barbecue sauce.
This was spicy.
Hold that in one hand, you hold this in the other, and then you just do not relinquish until they're both.
They come together. Come together.
Yeah, come together.
Come together.
Just come all at the same
Everyone
time.
come together.
All in your mouth.
So that's that's what they say.
That's what they say.
This is the longest can art segment, and there's nothing on the can.
We haven't even got to it.
I got distracted.
This is what JT's talking about.
So the can art here, Krabby Louie. It's a crab that is basically just, you know what they call this in image world is masking. They've masked out the background.
18-minute can art segment for
The crab
this.
is just a picture of hops in a crab shape. And Imperial India Pale Ale 9.51 pint. Okay, so there's a lot going on in this can. You guys have done a good job. I just want you to know that what you've done with this can.
I was yelling at the microphone
because I feel like I have to hurry up now. All right,
there's not a lot going on.
I'll whisper.
It's a subtle
all the stuff you've done with this can has been fantastic.
Now you're like,
you guys
whispering.
It's noticed. I'm not whispering into a dick, bro.
That's Richard, first of all.
Yeah, right.
It's the greatest Christmas present.
Okay, that's the Can Art bonus segment brought to you by Scott. Scott, good job. The beer itself, we don't do a lot of things with the name Imperial in them. I've noticed.
The Imperial March?
We don't do that on this podcast.
Oh, we don't do. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, we haven't. We have done Imperial IPAs, Imperial Stouts, but we haven't in a while. I don't know if that. What is it? What does Imperial add to the beer? Alcohol?
Boozed up.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how you make this a 5. This beer is very good, and I'm also at a 4.5. I think if you bring the alcohol down.
No.
I'm saying if you bring. Just let me finish.
No.
If you bring the alcohol down a little bit, I think it's too boozy. If you bring it down a little bit, all that flavor. There's so much flavor in this beer. It's a 5. I mean, this is a 5 IPA. It's hard to be a 5 IPA right now. How do you differentiate yourself from all the rest? You have to be
go back to the basics.
Perfectly flavorful. Go back to the basics.
Go back to German purity laws.
That aftertaste that Chris talked about, I 100% agree. It sits on your tongue perfectly. The aftertaste is very delicious. You don't feel like you just drank a skunked beer. You drank an overly hopped beer. You drank, fucking gym socks or whatever.
Do you find it too boozy? Like the flavor?
No, I don't find it too boozy. I'm saying what makes it a 5 is I think you need to amp the flavor of the beer up and lower the flavor of the alcohol.
That's how they achieve this.
I don't care.
That's the magic. So you can. So
no, they achieved the flavor that you guys are enjoying from the perfect combination of hops and all the other ingredients.
Right. So
other than the alcohol.
So I love the contrarian point of view because that's what it's all about. We don't have the same taste.
Contrarian, but we're all exactly on the same
4.5
score.
Yeah, we love the beer.
So,
yeah, the beer's great.
What you're saying is, can you taste the alcohol?
Yeah. It tastes boozy.
Okay, so that's what we're saying.
Like when you breathe out of your nose, it's all alcohol.
Yeah,
and the taste
I get flavor
and
when
the
I
taste
get that
that
exhale.
sits on your tongue is all hops. For me.
Yeah.
So hops on the tongue, alcohol in the nose.
So to make this beer a 5 for you,
For me,
I've got an idea. No.
Pondering it yourself.
Yeah, for you because
for me.
We're similar. I could give you a clothespin so you don't breathe through your nose.
Yeah, it might be better.
And it would be a 5.
It does taste a little thicker. It has like a viscosity.
Yeah.
A matte word. It's a little thicker than your typical IPA. But that's not a bad thing.
So I'm interested.
It just is.
Is your can different?
Yeah. Go ahead and taste it.
I'm interested in Kettle Beer Works if they do actually listen to this podcast and hear the review.
Hope so.
They say that it's a fusion of several American hop varieties.
They don't list them though.
They don't list them.
Yeah.
Give it a complex and provocative hop character. They're correct.
Provocative.
It is complex and it is provocative.
It's fucking delicious.
It's a great whatever their balance of hops is.
They did it.
You don't have to spill the beans, but reach out to us.
Don't spill the beans, spill the hops.
Spill the hop. Yeah, let us know. Yeah. Just give us a few. Give us a few hints as to what hops you have in there.
Simcoe is.
It's all American.
Maybe they're
I guarantee Simcoe.
Ohio grown hops. You think?
They're probably
absolutely
Ohio hops.
not.
No, because there are no Ohio grown hops.
I would not bat an eye, and I don't know what Scott D paid for this, and thank you so much.
Yeah,
I would
thanks,
not bat an eye knowing what this is and paying a premium price point for a 4-pack.
I assume it's a 4-pack. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 4-pack at Pints.
Yeah, I have
so
one
Scott
more.
kept one for. Oh wow, he gave you the whole thing.
Yeah, he gave me the whole thing.
You owe him.
I told him I'd pay him. He won't take it.
He must have had it.
I threw money at him.
What do you think a 4-pack of these goes for?
I would not bat an eye spending $15 on this. 15, 16, right there.
$14.99,
and this would be a staple.
It's very good.
It's fantastic. It's like you said though. We described it different. We were more same field. You're
so how do you make this
baseball? You're playing hockey. I would agree with him. Make it crisper on the finish.
Yeah,
crisper on the finish. And how do you do that? You bring the alcohol down. You make it a little bit. You make it a little crispier. Is basically
have a shot of vodka. That's pretty crisp.
No, it's not. Vodka sucks, dude. It's terrible. It's not crisp at all. The crispiness comes from like that water, that very cold water flavor. I don't think that you
water flavor.
Well, how do you make it crispier? Let's talk about it.
You should be a designer.
I love one.
How do you make?
Hang on. I love that you brought up water flavor, and I love that you dismissed water flavor.
Yeah,
because there is flavor to water.
There is
flavor.
There's
to water.
a flavor to water. There's a crispiness.
If there are minerals present.
That's what I'm saying. It's the minerals. It's not water, because if you have highly purified water.
But
I didn't say just up the hydrogen and oxygen, dioxide or whatever.
I'm glad that you guys brought this up. That's great, because mineral water is vastly different than regular purified water or treated water or anything like that. So water does have a flavor. I respect that point. It was a good point.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
okay, so how would you crisp this beer up? Like just from the science of beer.
From the science of beer, it would quite literally.
Should it be colder?
It would be
no. It's not a temperature, because they can't control that when they're serving it to you on the outside.
So how do you crisp it up?
It's like a slight modification of the recipe.
Yeah.
It's just maybe
the hops that went into it, because it says it's a marriage of hops.
Perfect. I think the hops are exactly where they need to be.
I think they're really close. I think maybe.
I bet if this was a 9.0 or an 8.5, it'd be fucking.
That's an interesting.
It'd be a 4.75 or a 5.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
This is gonna be This is gonna be something.
I don't think you should.
This is gonna be.
That would be strange.
This would be a fun game.
No, fuck it.
I want to do this with JT. So you think if you take 0.5 off of this beer and make it a 5? I want to do
maybe 4.75.
I want to do a 6 to a
I wish
10
we could
point
get the same beer
ABV
over and over.
And I want you to taste, and I'm going to set it up. It's going to cost me a lot of money.
When
I'm going
you
to find
say
a 6
crisp,
beer to 10.
When you say crisp,
And I'm
thinking
be like,
anywhere
JT?
between 4.5 and maybe 7% alcohol.
Your tongue is
When you
not
say
a
the
hydrometer.
word crisp.
Yeah.
What are the IBUs on this?
Yeah, they're probably high.
I don't even see it on here.
Not
But
on here.
70, 60 to low 80s.
yeah, 60 to 80.
So when
it's
you,
not overly
when you
hoppy
say the word
because
crisp, you don't think alcohol.
God, no.
I think for me
I do.
for
I
me
do.
for me personally to get it to a 5 would be to slightly tweak the hop recipe or just the recipe in general to actually
I don't think you fuck with the hops.
I do.
the
I
hops
think
are perfect.
you dial down the hops just a smidge, just a smidge.
What this beer is.
Dial down the IBUs.
See, this is.
I love
don't do
IBUs.
enough IPAs. This is proof. We have talked about this beer in great detail. I don't think you fuck with the hops. I think the hops are perfect. How it sits on your tongue, what it leaves behind is perfect.
Isn't it enjoyable?
So enjoyable. The only problem I had with this beer.
How often do you have
breathing out of my nose? It's like all booze.
How often do you drink a beer and you enjoy the drink of the beer, but then afterwards, the aftertaste, you're like, this isn't good. I'm not enjoying this. I'm not enjoying this part.
Yeah.
Right? But this beer is the exact opposite to where you drink the beer and you're like, oh, that's a really good drink of beer. And then afterwards, you're like, this is also this remaining flavor.
Yeah. It's good.
It's great.
Yeah.
The only thing that you disagree with is the exhale.
I feel like it's too boozy.
Right. And yeah. I don't see.
But if that's what an imperial is, then maybe it's a 5 for then maybe it's a 5 for an imperial, and I rated
do you
it
want
wrong.
do you want a
On my
7.0
palate-
imperial?
What?
Do you want a 7.0 imperial?
No,
That's
no,
just an
I'm not
IPA.
saying that. I'm saying that if you want to make a 9.5%
With bold
alcohol
flavors.
beer, that's great, and this beer excels in that area. I'm not giving it a 5. So fair enough. If this is what you wanted, then you succeeded. Because this is about as high as you're going to get from me for a beer this boozy.
I love it.
So you said, how do you make this 5? You said crispier.
Crispier.
I don't understand.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
Crispier
I don't
without losing the alcohol.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm brainstorming on how to make it.
I'm not a brewmaster, and I'm not gonna sit and hypothesize.
I'm
I
a
will.
brewmaster.
I'm not a brewmaster, but I will
In my house.
hypothesize. I like to hypothesize.
Let's hypothesize.
It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways to test your hypotheses.
True.
I still want to test
do a lot of work.
how you're like it's too. I want to get you a 6.0 beer to 10.0, and I want you to have shot glasses of beer and tell me how much alcohol is in each beer.
Okay.
I just don't taste the
Let's
booze.
do it. Let's do
I
it.
don't either.
Let's do that test. And if you ask me what's crispier, I guarantee you I'll be leaning more towards the lower alcohol beers.
But crispier isn't my measurement, or is
You
isn't-
just said that's
isn't-
how you
isn't
would get
isn't
it to
your
a 5.
measurement.
It's not my measurement, but
So
that's
you
just-
can't use crispier as your measurement.
No, I'm not.
That's mine.
You would be using booze.
I mean,
you would use some booze.
as a
I want
human
you to-
being in this world, I'm also allowed to taste crispy beer.
no.
That's Matt. Matt only.
Matt, that's
Fair enough.
Patented.
All right. I like this.
You have
This
to pay.
conversation has been great. It's been heated.
it has
I
been
love it.
heated.
Trying to
This
find
beer,
ideas.
holy shit, did this make the podcast liven up?
Really did. It was dead. It was dead until this.
This yeah.
shit
If you're
episode.
listening to this episode, skip
fast
everything
forward.
from like 40.
Write that in the write-up.
to like now.
Fast forward to minute 41.
nine-
If you want to make this beer
Yeah.
an NA for JT,
In NA,
yeah, non-alcoholic, JT would love it.
not alcoholic.
He doesn't want the alcohol. He doesn't want it to come through his nose.
What's a boat show?
I don't know.
7?
I'm not on the boat show train. like you
6.5,
guys are.
7.5.
That's a conversation I just got into.
Truth? What's the truth?
7.2.
Yeah.
Bocho's
crisp.
right there.
Perfectly crisp. I think that's a crisp IPA.
That though, I think that's because it's more of a whippa. That's because of the hop balance on
It's
it.
a hop thing.
Right,
That's a
fair
hop
enough.
thing on that.
Fair enough.
Right,
I don't. If you
right.
fuck
That's
with the
a
hops
citric
on this
drink.
beer, you fuck with the beer, and it's garbage after that.
I'm
Where do you think the alcohol comes from?
It comes from the alcohol
the alcohol theory.
fermentation?
What are you fermenting?
Yeah, probably the hops.
Boom.
Maybe the malts. I don't know. I don't know how beer's made. This is a shitty beer podcast.
Yeah, that's why I was saying it's tough to like.
Pretentious because we don't know how it's made.
Yeah, exactly.
They just give it to us.
I think that
it's fermenting the hops.
You're fermenting the hops. Fine.
Yeah.
The hops are perfect. You can ferment them less. You will win. You will get a 5.0 in this podcast. We're all at 4.5. I'm the only one who offered like a legitimate suggestion on how to get to a 5.
You're not,
except for crispiness. I just don't know what crispiness is.
And you're saying take away the alcohol.
To make it crispier?
No.
Then it wouldn't be an imperial.
You're saying to take away the alcohol.
Right, okay, so it wouldn't be an imperial, but it was
like
still
I wasn't embellishing,
beer.
I wasn't making a joke. You said take away the alcohol.
No, okay.
Make it a non-alcoholic beer, it's a 5.0.
No, now you're embellishing.
Now I
didn't say non-alcoholic.
No, I
think if this beer came in at 8.5, it'd be at least a 4.75.
And this is where my challenge came in for you. I don't think that you can taste the difference between a 9.5 and
maybe
8.5.
Yeah, maybe.
Your tongue is not a hydrometer.
I just didn't think this was a 5.
It's crazy.
So how much we argue? How does it become?
I love it.
Yeah, how does it become a 5? I think personally. Now, non-scientifically, because I've done no studies on this. I think you make this a 5 by bringing down the alcohol.
I honestly think that we're all at 5s.
Probably.
We're arguing
about nothing.
Like absolute nonsense.
Yeah. I think
we all love this
you alluded to it.
If I see this beer, I'm going to buy it.
And we always said,
it's good.
I'm going to buy it.
How do you make even in an imperial world, how do you make an IPA now a 5? Because there's no pomp and circumstance to it. There's nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Just flawless execution.
There's no parades for an IPA.
And this is
pretty close.
Fucking close.
Like, remember the first time you had a truth? Like the mouth explosions, and you're like, God, that's going to be my standard.
Yeah. Ice cold truth,
like
ice cold boat show.
Anytime you see this, you're going to buy it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the
ice
price
cold
point.
Keyhole. Like, man, you guys still have not.
I've been trying to find key holder. I literally have gone everywhere to find this fucking beer.
That's a whole different.
Yeah,
that's a whole different ballpark.
Different podcasts altogether.
But yes. If I see this, it's getting bought, and I'm going to buy it all. Yeah.
This would
hoard this.
This would move up to like Hetty Topper, to talk like alchemist type.
Yeah,
type stuff,
this is really, these guys.
It's a good beer.
Have a little bit of magic in the can.
I think that this beer is close to German purity laws. I don't think there's not a lot of gimmicks to it.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think there's any gimmicks either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just made a beer and they were like, we like this beer, let's put it out.
Well, I'm glad that they did.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they liked the beer. Glad that they put it out. Thanks for Scott.
Yeah, Scott,
for sharing
Big D.
this.
And,
Scott, you are now the owner of the Can Art Boner segment.
Good choice.
Until someone else submits a beer.
Good choice.
I've been on the road for 2 weeks. There's submissions.
So you got submissions. Might be the owner. All right. Good.
Yeah. Brought to you by Matt.
Yeah. That's why.
Oh yeah, no, not me. Yeah, submissions.
That's why I asked if you wanted to claim any spots today.
No, because I was told I've submitted too many. Are you tearing your label?
No, I'm just playing with it. Remember we talked about this.
Yeah. You want to chew some ice?
Before.
Label play.
Remember when we before this podcast we did a happy hour?
Are we reminiscing?
And I ripped.
It's not episode 100.
The coaster apart, and I just can't keep my hands from moving.
That's great. That's a great sound, by the way.
If you're watching, I put it down.
On the table though. That's why we do the bar.
Fiddle, I fiddle. I need a fidget spinner.
I bite my nails. It's gross.
Oh, I don't bite my nails.
I get hard at my wife.
For what?
Biting my nails. My 4-year-old daughter.
You guys bite your nails.
Yep.
So I pick the labels on things, and
I feel like it strengthens my immune system. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just it's disgusting.
The dirt under your nails is.
Oh yeah, no, I
build
immunity.
It builds immunity.
So. On to segment 3 then.
Segment 3, yeah.
Transition.
Other than biting nails. Let's transition fully to segment 3. Was there anything designated for segment 3?
Well, we had talked about something we should save for segment 3, but I forgot what it was.
It was the XFL on the Rock purchase.
Oh yeah, the XFL on the Rock. Let's talk about it.
Let's break it down. $15 million deal. Bought the XFL. That's like.
It seems like nothing.
That seems like absolutely nothing to the Rock. Yeah, to the Rock. He partnered apparently with a
Redbird.
But I think that's his vehicle.
It's an outside vehicle. His and Danny's outside vehicle. I might know too much.
No. That's a good thing. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So
I want to know.
So, anyways, to explain it both from what happened and the theories of outside people. So, the XFL, because of the coronavirus, had to file for chapter whatever bankruptcy. And so that leaves the creditors hanging. Vince McMahon fired Oliver Luck, who is Andrew Luck's dad, for less than cordial means, like using a company approved iPhone off hours or whatever. So just like ticky-tack shit. So then that way he didn't have to pay him his agreed upon 5-year salary. So there's a lot of creditors to the XFL because the XFL was brought back as a 3-year proof of concept. While they played 5 games, the coronavirus hit. It was doing a lot. Yep. It was doing a lot better, and it was skewing better than the original XFL, which was 2000. So 20 years later, it was skewing a lot better.
Basically, a lot more popular than the NFL.
Yeah,
wildly.
Huge. No, not the NFL.
No, NFL.
NFL.
Way better.
Way better.
It was skewing more popular than its predecessor. They
even had mascots. Washington doesn't even have a mascot.
It was
That's true. The Washington football team.
Speaking of which, I am all for the Washington Sentinels, which was from The Replacements, which was a Keanu Reeves movie. I think it should be the Washington Sentinels.
I think it should be the Washington football team. I like that name, actually. I think all teams should just be the football teams.
Football teams.
So I digress. Going back to the XFL. So there's about $100 million in creditors. So they declared bankruptcy, thus severing the ties. The Rock is very close to Vince McMahon. As you know, their wrestling ties. So the conspiracy theory, to get into the conspiracy theory, is that
I love conspiracy theories. Let's get into it.
That Vince McMahon contacted The Rock and was like, "Hey, you buy this with $7 or $7 entertainment, which is The Rock and his ex Danny Garcia, who is now his business partner, and they're 50-50 on everything, which is really odd to be 50-50 with your ex on everything outside of kids." Well,
I mean, there you go.
Yeah, but
I'd be 50-50 with my ex, but I don't have an ex.
Yeah, but in business dealings, all of his movies and everything,
money transcends
relationships. Watch a Rock movie. He's been divorced for the last 4 years. Watch a new Rock movie. She is a producer on all of his movies.
That's fantastic.
So to have that kind of relationship,
she still cares.
Well,
was she an executive producer on
The Rock,
The Babysitter, or whatever that movie was?
I forget which one.
You know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Are you thinking of the Tooth Fairy?
Was it Tooth Fairy?
The Rock.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. The Rock with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery.
Yeah,
The Rock with Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage, and
Winners go home and fuck.
An actual Rock.
The Rock played he played on Ireland.
A Rock.
Hey, winners go home and fuck the prom queen. So that's my Sean Connery.
What do losers
bonus
do?
material.
I
don't know. You never know.
Fuck the runner-up, right? Sometimes she's hotter.
Sometimes she
depends on how popular she is.
And the Iraq. So The Rock is buying it with the desire to bring it back.
Yes.
So
yeah, I've heard that too, and that's great news.
And he's not alluded to it. It's publicized that he wants to bring it back. So he has a new vision.
Even better.
He's going to be our next billionaire.
Well,
I think
talking about Q ratings, he's the highest Q rating entertainer. He just eclipsed Tom Hanks 2 years ago.
Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is considered
the
father of America.
Yeah, right. Like he's pretty much, I mean,
it's been subdued a little bit, but apparently Tom Hanks now
I tell people Tom Hanks is my dad. Like, is that wrong?
No.
Chuggalo Mom and Tom Hanks?
Hell yeah.
Had you?
I will say.
Chuggalo Mom's all.
Wow.
Chuggalo
Mom. Yeah, she's turning it up.
She's a big fan of the Polar Express.
She's like, hang on, let's rewind this part.
The Polar Express. So
the Polar Express.
Not one of his best movies.
No, but it's a great movie for kids.
Yeah. And it's animated or digitized. Is that animated?
It's animated.
I think they did some special stuff. So anyways, there's a lot of inertia behind that, and I was very pro XFL. I had all the hopes.
Are you still pro XFL?
I'm very pro.
I'm pro XFL.
Are you more pro XFL?
Yes.
More than you were?
Now that The Rock owns it.
I mean, it's tough. You know, it's 35 years of being.
I mean, if somehow I could be involved.
I mean,
if more excited or not more excited, I don't know.
Well, no, if they could take the XFL,
yes,
but back out some of the alcohol and make it just like XFL. Like, let's say I was at a 9.5 with the current iteration of XFL. Like to like an 8.5.
Yeah, take some of the alcohol.
It'd be good. So like when I was watching it and I breathed through my nose,
to get.
like it didn't ferment in my nose.
I think the XFL missed a big opportunity with the NCAA in stealing their talent.
I feel like
that's what I think.
Missed a big opportunity by continuing to deny the coronavirus and just continue
They
playing.
should have done that. They should have denied the coronavirus.
Because that's what they do in WWE.
Yeah.
It's not real.
I think they should have taken kids from college and said, we'll pay you. And then all of a sudden, you have all these really, really good college athletes who are like, fuck college.
The problem was they weren't.
Because they said fuck college already anyway.
They weren't paying them life-changing money. So
it doesn't fucking matter. How much does Ohio State pay any Ohio State football player? $0. That's not life-changing money either.
Nor is their education.
If you become the draft vehicle feeding the NFL, you win. And the NCAA becomes this piece of shit crumbled crap.
I love when you raise your voice.
I hate the NCAA. They're such garbage.
Okay, can I bring it this way?
Major League Baseball.
How much did Zion Williamson get paid to play college basketball?
$50 million.
Exactly. Yeah. So he was in the NCAA
because
though.
It's required.
No,
it's not required. Some other league. Yeah,
LeBron
Zion Williamson could have gone to
the top
to
tier
Europe.
The top tier athletes. No, Zion Williamson made like $50 million
in college.
Yes.
How?
To go to Duke? Yeah.
They
backdoored a lot of money.
Yeah, they backdoored.
Yeah.
That's
See,
the thing.
that's
So
problem.
like if you're
that's the problem. So we could easily go. He screwed the system. Let's fucking
and
do
that's
a
what
Reggie
they're doing
Bush
right
to him
now.
and take all his trophies and shit.
Well, they didn't win that. They didn't win the championship.
The NCAA is this sham joke
blew his
bullshit.
Adidas out.
We're arguing the same thing.
Yeah, we are. We're on the same. We're on the same side.
We're all
they should be
basically
paid.
on the fuck the NCAA side.
In the next 10 years, Division I athletes will get. I just got in this conversation.
Yeah, they have to get paid.
They will
because now there's competition.
NCAA.
And the XFL is one
of
those
competition. As far as I'm
competition.
concerned, the NCAA itself is over with. Like that was a monopoly.
Yeah, that was a
monopoly of old white guys that controlled everything,
exactly.
and now like the game is kind of up.
The gig is up.
Right.
It's turn in your fucking badges.
Ed O'Bannon, when Ed O'Bannon sued the NCAA for his likeness on the cover of NCAA College Basketball 2004, that was the first cut in their armor. So now it's coming that you had Pitino that had money funded to him when it was when he was with Louisville. It's just a matter of time. And I think it's going to happen in the next 10 years that they're going to have to figure out, like the stat just came out, if Wisconsin football doesn't play this year, the athletic department loses $100 million.
Yep. That
money goes to other non-revenue generating sports.
Fine.
Stanford just eliminated 9 sports.
They just quit. Yeah,
they just quit. They're like, and Stanford, a lot of big brains, did the math, napkin math. Fuck, we can't do it. We eliminated, men's underwater basket
really
weaving.
Sucks.
Yeah. So it turns out Olivia Jade doesn't play water polo.
Yeah. So
I don't know who that is.
It's happening. Well, Olivia Jay, she takes all the pictures and she's water polo. You don't know Olivia Jay?
No.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly my point.
The
NCAA is a sham,
watch Full House?
And no. I know Full House. Like, okay, Uncle Jesse.
Who's Uncle Jesse's wife?
That's
Lori Loughlin.
Oh, the lady who paid a bunch of money to go to UNC or USC.
USC, yeah. It's a matter of time. So athletes have been getting paid. They figure out a way to pay them. The ones that are guaranteed.
Fine. So let's just fucking stop and just let them play. Okay, there should be a minor league football. There should be a minor league basketball. There doesn't even need to be a minor league basketball. Let's be honest. So most of those guys could go straight to the NBA.
The ESPN Top 100, 17 now of this year have gone off to other one-year places, so they can qualify to go into the next year's NBA draft.
It makes no sense.
It's the biggest number since
it's the biggest
LeBron
bullshit,
James
nonsense collusion.
And LeBron James is
ever.
all about it.
It is.
Like the NBA
capitalism
requiring 1 year out removed from high school. Stupid.
Capitalism, my favorite subject.
Yeah, because they're propped up. The NCAA.
Well, let's crush them. There's no reason to keep them propped up.
How does it get
March
crushed?
Madness?
They can fail.
March Madness alone.
Fine, March
them.
Madness. You'll
College football playoffs, college football in
get
general.
So
all
much
of those
money.
things. You'll still get all of those things.
But they want
But with
names.
less talent, who
They
fucking
want
cares what they want?
NCAA.
NCAA.
Well, fuck
Mark-
the NCAA.
Mark
They
S-
can
Mark's
lose.
Well, guess what the NCAA does in Washington? They pay millions of
Yeah, right.
dollars to
Well,
lobbyists.
I mean, that's the truth
to
for a lot of
lobbyists
businesses.
to
But what I'm saying
keep them in
is,
business.
let's use the XFL as a vehicle to continue to crush the NCAA.
Great. So
And
the
like
Rock
you
is
said,
going to crush.
again, we're still arguing the same point.
We're all arguing the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
point.
we are.
We're
They
all on the
should
same
die.
team.
The NCAA should
It's
die.
a shit
It's
gig.
stupid.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
None
of them care about school.
problem there is
they're
you-
only attached to school. All these fucking Ohio
You know what the
State
great
people
thing-
who walk
you know what the
around
great
with just
thing-
like, Ohio State's the best school ever that's ever existed. It's a good school, like academically.
Let's
Who gives
bring
a
this
fuck
all
about their
back
football team.
to the fact that we're a beer podcast. You know what the great thing about having
I like that. Let's do that.
minor league whatever and eliminating the NCAA?
Minor league
Bring more beer into it.
Minor league sports have more craft beer.
More beer. More beer. NCAA is like anti-beer because they're like,
They hate
we
beer.
gotta be responsible.
Even though-
as college kids.
One of my favorite stats locally: Warped Wing got into Great American Ballpark before they got into Fifth Third.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yep.
2 blocks away,
When I went to
because that was beer
Penn State
contracts.
homecoming,
Was it for a
no one
whiteout?
was drinking beer. Everyone was drinking crazy
sucks.
alcohol, and I got way too
Well,
drunk.
does everyone
I
pregame?
was puking everywhere.
Yeah, everyone pre.
Oh, that's
and
all
cup.
everyone does.
Was it a
'cause
whiteout
you can't
though?
drink that shit inside the stadium.
Right. You can't drink that shit.
Was it a
It was
whiteout
not.
though?
I believe this was prior to the whiteout
Yeah, no, they
phenomenon.
So was it a day game?
yeah,
Yeah, it was a day
it
game.
was a day game.
They do whiteouts for night games
Well,
because it looks.
it was
great.
like 2004 when I went there, and it was awesome. I got really hammered. But we got hammered before the game. Then
Right.
we went to the game and we really didn't drink at
Tailgating.
all. And then after the game we got hammered more.
This is why I'm
More
for
hammered.
college in place.
Yeah.
Everyone go experience.
Yeah. Online college doesn't give you that same experience. Penn State, phenomenal campus.
Happy Valley.
This is a great way to wrap it up,
See,
guys.
we got there.
Yeah.
We eventually got there.
We got back to
agree
beer.
now. And you know who I watched? I watched Purdue versus Penn State. It was Penn State's homecoming.
2004. So
Kyle Orton.
It was
That was the quarterback.
Kyle
Purdue. Purdue.
I was
For
going to say
Purdue.
because Drew
It was
Brees
not Drew
drafted.
Brees, no.
He was drafted.
02, I think.
02, yeah.
Yeah, it was not Drew Brees. But I did see Drew Brees at Purdue. I also visited some friends at Purdue.
Okay,
But,
so deep poll. Did you go to the Penn State showers after the game?
Oh, he's writing it down?
Yeah.
No, I had no access to Penn State showers.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure you had access.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, but I was
No,
unaware.
you
I
didn't
was
have
unaware
access.
of my
Did other
access.
people have access?
I didn't know.
You're a
Oh,
dude.
you
You're
were
a dude.
unaware of your access, so things may have just slipped in.
You're a dude,
Maybe.
and you're extremely hammered, right?
Yeah.
Very.
You said you
You
got
know
hammered
what?
twice.
Do you want to know what
in
the
one day.
drink of choice at Penn State
Yeah.
was in
It was
2004?
gasoline.
99 apples. You ever drink that?
Yep.
No,
It
don't
Come
know
in
what that
there.
is.
It'll get
but
you
it
fucked
sounds
up.
gross.
It'll get you fucked up. 99 proof.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Apple.
That's grain
What is
alcohol.
it? Vodka or?
That's grain alcohol
What
and
kind
just
of grain
sugar
alcohol. Yeah, basically.
with
yeah.
apple flavoring. That's
And it's a
disgusting.
contoured bottle.
I was.
Matching
It was
each other.
homecoming. I went to the parade.
Yeah,
I was
you did.
already drunk. It was crazy. I threw up a lot
Were you-
that weekend.
Good.
But you guys know me. I like to throw.
You
up.
like to
Yeah.
I love throwing. up.
Alcohol through the nose.
Yeah, I
Jerry
love it.
Sandusky on his arm.
Yeah, Sandusky was part of the team. Back
He
then.
still was
Yep.
a coach, yeah.
Yeah.
For another few years.
Humping it.
Just things slipped in.
I got
That's fine.
My first 2 years were still in Sandusky years. I forget what years I
Yikes.
started there.
That's disgusting.
Time just flies by.
Well, when I started
You're
at Penn State, it
pounding
was
it.
all online because I was deployed.
Yeah.
Um,
Just showers.
2009 maybe. I don't remember.
2009.
The odds. The odds.
The odds.
We've discussed this.
2 knots. 2 knots.
2
nine.
knots.
2 knots.
20 knots.
2 knots.
20. Just keep talking.
Say
I
that in
will say.
Spanish. Say that in Spanish. 209.
Yeah.
Cacahuates.
Dos uthazendas.
Cacahuates.
How do you say 9 again? Niete?
Nueve.
Nueve.
I love it.
All right.
He's hammered. I love it.
No. I was hammered at Penn State.
Not here.
Not
now,
here.
hammered at
No,
Penn
I'm not
State
here.
was
Hammered
at
here.
shower
I
time?
need a few more beers to be hammered.
Okay. All the notes.
Yeah, thanks for taking notes on that.
All right, guys. That was a good
JT.
one. Take it away.
Was that it? All right. Well,
All
that's
right.
episode 98. We got 2 more episodes till the 100th episode.
Hondo.
One more episode.
We're not going to talk about it. Oh, yeah. 1 more episode and then the 100th episode.
Then the Hondo.
Yeah.
We're not going to
This
talk
is what
about
happens
what we're
when
going to
you
do,
drink
but when,
high alcohol.
when we get there, you'll know.
We'll be
there.
when you get there, you'll know.
That's right.
You can also count.
That's it.
2 more.
Episode 98. Do you want me to turn off the video or what? I'll just keep talking.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got
just
so
keep-
many. I've got so many.
It's
names.
really hot in here.
I got
You guys
whizzed.
warm